Hey guys, today we have something to show you. It's box opening. It's not gonna be a run video, it's just a box opening. But I think it's an important box opening because the Gen 8 Axe Edition has a cousin. It's a 10 scale, brushless rock racer, and it's ready to run. The only thing you got to provide is your batteries. It comes with your radio. It's actually got this really good servo that I like, the Next Fly 25 kg. I've been buying them and putting them on my other rigs. It's on my TRX4. And the reason I do that is because for less than 30 bucks, you can get that servo with a horn. So it's a good deal. All right, enough talk. Let's look at this truck. Yeah, today I'm not doing this in my garage because one, this box is a little big and it's kind of hard to maneuver this around on my table, so I figured we could do it on the table here. So a few of the things that you're going to see here they're talking about is the specifications of the wheelbase, the mid height of the center of it. Actually, I could go over that with you. So from ground to center pumpkin, it's 47 millimeters, and from ground to center of your skid plate, you're looking at 75 millimeters. Overall wheelbase, or I should say length, not wheelbase, is 546 millimeters. Overall width is 309 millimeters, and of course your height from ground to the roof is 270 millimeters. So that is a pretty decent sized truck. It's going back over the chassis, and the chassis is pretty much the same thing as the Gen 8 chassis. I mean, it's exactly the Gen 8 chassis. It's got the adjustables, so you can adjust your wheelbase if you decide you don't want to run that body. And you know, it's a really nice frame rails, just like I said the Gen 8 had. You got officially licensed Raceline Avenger wheels, which they're glue on, unfortunately, and Interco Super Swamper tires. Your radio is basically your basic Redcat 2-channel. Rubber sealed bearings they did on this, and the shocks. So the aluminum coil shocks, long travel, threaded body, 9-hole adjustable shock towers. So these shocks are actually bigger. Looks like there's two different size shocks though, from what they're showing here on the box. We're gonna look at that. It's got the durable divorce transmission with the WOD 1 gears. From what I understand, they did work on getting the slop that was in the transmission from the original. The motor is forward mounted like normal, and it does have an adjustable rear anti-sway bar, and of course your 4-link suspension. The axles from hub to hub here, they're at 47 millimeter, so they're pretty wide. They did do a CNC aluminum spool in your axle, so that is really good to know what they did there. So let's get this thing out of the box. So what you have here is a Minecraft vehicle. Not really, just joking. So grab the manual here. So it does come with your manual. It gives you the overall breakdown like most of their manuals do. And of course, that's for the radio. I'm not going to open it because this will go to somebody else. And so, time to see the truck. Ta-da! So the truck, slow it down. I love the color of the truck. I love this blue. And the package is pretty good, so it doesn't get all beat up and scratched up in transport. And it does come with this pretty decent. We got a goodie box. And I'm not going to go into the radio because the radio is typically just the regular standard radio that you got in the first generation Gen 8. Okay, so what we got here in the bag, we've got some sand ladders, tire tool, fire extinguishers, a jerry can. We also got the little clips that, and is there screws in here? I don't see any screws. So I guess you would have to get your own screws, but to help mount the lights in the light bucket. And of course, looks like there's some little spare parts here too, like shock links, or actually maybe it's the steering link. I guess the regular linkage. So anyway, it's pretty much there. All right. So, what do we got here in the cab? Well, we got some guys that can turn their heads and look at you, and they have a little clear Lexan tinted lens visor thingies here that open up. And if you really want to get scale, you could paint their faces in here. So you got two drivers. Now if you want to get really funny, you can always get the skull heads. I've seen on eBay. The passenger actually has a navigation screen that's movable, which is really cool. I'm going to spin around and show you. Now one thing they didn't do the magnets on the body. They are actually utilizing body clips right here. Okay guys, we got the body off. So to go over what we got here on the truck. The chassis is the same chassis as the Gen 8. Same shock towers, cross members, the cross member from the shocks. The bumper mounts, the shorty bumpers are new. Same battery box, same motor front with the divorce transfer case. Things that are different are of course the big bore shocks, and instead of using the floor pans like they did before, they are using these sliders with the little bridge mount here, so they could mount the our favorite receiver box that you could quickly unplug, and of course the hobby wing brushless ESC with the hobby wing motor. Now the motor is a 3300 kV 540 can motor, and of course my favorite servo, 25 kg X-Fly. You can get them for under 30 bucks, and it comes with a servo horn. I love them. That's why I started putting them on my trucks. The shocks, front ones are shorter bore shocks. See here in the middle, you can see it better. A little bit shorter in the rear, a little longer. And of course then you got your adjustable sway bar here. But pretty much, like I said, the same battery box and everything, even down to the bumper mounts. And of course the shock tower that stops, it's partly plastic here. They did put the stubby bumpers, like I said, and the radio is the standard Redcat radio that you found in the original Gen 8. Okay, so we can see how much wider this axle is by comparing the Gen 8 Axe Edition to the Wendigo and you can see how much wider this axle is and the whole rig is. So there it is. The cool stuff is the chassis is adjustable, so you can adjust your wheelbase if you wanted to change up. Other thing that's pretty cool too about this rig, it does have the 3-link front with your panhard and your steering. It's got a metal servo horn right there. They did put some pretty beefy shackles here, or saddles, what do you want to call them, that bolt onto the to the axles. The axles, they did a diamond style pumpkin on here, which gives you a little bit better clearance. And also, they did put the new skid plate on here, so you don't have that little humpy bump like the original Gen 8 had. And they did blacken out the links, which are really nice looking. And what else can I tell you about this? Other than it's got a really good stance and oil-filled shocks. I mean, overall, it's just a really good-looking truck, and it's something I'm actually interested in myself. And I'm not a big rock racer person, but I think it's a pretty cool-looking rig. It does have the 2.2 Intrico Super Swampers, and they are glued on. And so back to the body here, it just pops back on like normal, and you're ready to go cruising pretty quick. So there it is, guys, the Wendigo by Redcat. Pretty much it. So just let me know what you think. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, I mean, you don't have to do a thumbs down, please. But you could just say a comment, well, didn't care for it or whatever. I think it's going to be a cool, me personally, I'll probably end up using it as a Class 3 rig, and doing some Class 3 trails with it, as well as if there is a rock race, maybe that, or B, maybe even jack it up and put some mud tires on it and do a little mud. I don't know. We'll see. But there it is. So, okay, guys. Well, I want to thank you for watching. And the reason I'm in the house is because I had some technical difficulties out in the garage and didn't have enough room, so I figured I'd bring it indoors. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, have fun with RCs. Oh, and by the way, they're waiting for the shirts to come in to do the print, so just going to give you a heads up. As soon as it gets in, I'll have one for me to show you, and then if you guys desire, then I'll have a place down below where you can sign up for shirts. And if you want a decal, also look down in the instruction down there below, the description bar down below. I've got a thing for that as well. Anything you do, I appreciate it. Your support, it does help. I'm not making anything really much here with YouTube at this point, but I'm trying to keep the content going and hoping that when things start going through, I can start doing giveaways and so forth. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, have fun with RCs.